because if you look at the world in which we're living in, there's so much sickness, there's so much ill health on all levels that something needs to change. And especially where we are here, I'm now living here in St. Lucia, blessed to be doing so. And we know that there is so much problems with health in St. Lucia.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so today we have Brother Anthony, who's going to give us some perspective, share some idea with us as to a more appropriate diet to foster a healthier lifestyle and to a better health situation. So today we're going to let him speak because he has much to say about the diet that he's proposing for better health.
All right, thank you very much, my brother Christian. As a member of the Nation of Islam, under the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, I would just like to begin in the name of Allah, the Beneficent and the Merciful. All praise is due to Allah, the Lord of all the worlds. I bear witness that Allah came to us in the divine person of Master Fard Muhammad, to whom praises are due forever. And thank him for raising the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad and for leaving in our midst the man who is among us today, wonderful human being, a divine leader, teacher, guide, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. So in their names, I greet all of our listening audience with the greeting words of peace of Assalamu alaikum, which means peace be unto you. And it is really peace that we're looking for, both mentally, physically, and spiritually. So thank you for your time. And it really is, we're in the holy month of Ramadan. So those who are Muslims and we as Muslims are in the holy month where we are being asked to do that which will improve our health, both mentally, physically, and spiritually. So we say Ramadan Mubarak to the listening audience. As a member of the Nation of Islam, under these teachings, I am so happy and overjoyed to have been given the opportunity to hear the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad through the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, because of what it has done for me personally and what I know that it can do for all of our people, especially black people, because our focus as members of the Nation of Islam is first for the black family, who have been the ones who have suffered most under this world's order, but humanity in general. And we are currently taking, let's say, part in the holy month, which requires us to fast and pray and discipline our lives in accord with that which is good for our health. What I will say is that the society and the world in which we live does not encourage us to partake in our daily lives in a way that is pleasing to God. So that which what I'm about to say can sound strange, it can sound unusual, but the reason for that, I need to say this because it puts a perspective on what I'm going to say, that in a world like this one, the truth can sound wrong, and the lies and the falsehood that we've been fed actually sound right. So black has been made white and white has been made black. So it can sometimes sound unusual in the way that we are being asked to discipline our lives. But that's because it's the right way. Because if you look at the world in which we're living in, there's so much sickness, there's so much ill health on all levels, that something needs to change. And especially where we are here, I'm now living here in St. Lucia, blessed to be doing so. And we know that there is so much problems with health in St. Lucia in terms of high blood pressure, diabetes, cancer, stroke, amputations. There's a lot of health problems in St. Lucia, among the highest in the Western Hemisphere. So therefore, there needs to be some correction made to the lifestyles that we're living, which we call death styles, really, because of the damage that's being done. So as a member of the Nation of Islam, we have been taught by the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad a dietary way of living that will give us, as the scriptures say, life and life abundantly. That means that we'll have a healthier life, we'll have a longer life and a more happier life, because we're not suffering from many of the sicknesses that the world is suffering from because of the diseases that we are under. And therefore, like I said, my job and our focus is to share the good news with all who will listen, that there is an answer. There are solutions to these problems, but it will take us to do our part, which is to study, listen, learn, and implement some of what you hear, some of what you know to be the truth when you hear it. So, for example, what we are taught, and we're in the holy month of Ramadan, that fasting, in this book, How to Eat to Live, from the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, it does say, on page 19, it says fasting. Fasting is a greater cure of our ills, both mental and physical, than all the drugs of the earth combined in one bottle or in a billion bottles. So we can help ourselves by how we discipline our diets and what we eat and how often we eat. It activates the health system that is naturally within our own body. It can avoid us having to go to the hospital. Prevention, we talk prevention is better than cure. So therefore, this dietary regime, this way of life prevents illness, and it means we don't have to go to the doctor for a cure. So what we do and what we've been encouraged to do as members of the Nation of Islam is to be mindful of how often we eat, what we eat, and when we eat. And we are on one meal a day, not one plate of food. One meal that is fully nourishing, that has all the nutrients, the vitamins, the minerals. We drink plenty of water that we need in order for us to nourish our bodies, and we discipline our lives so that we eat one meal every 24 hours. So, for example, we're encouraged to eat a meal between 4 and 6 o'clock every day. So if Monday we'll eat between 4 and 6, and we will not eat again. Topic all on its own, the diet that we should be eating. So in short, what we should do and what we can do to help ourselves with how our bodies are being taken care of is, one, eat fewer meals. We're encouraged by this society to eat 3 meals a day, and oftentimes many of us eat snacks in between, and we're not eating high quality food. So those 3 meals a day should be, and what we can do and encourage our people to do is to reduce the number of meals that we eat in the day. Try and reduce it to 2, and then wait. Train your body for 2 a day. When you've done 2, try 1 meal, and your body will train. It will adjust itself to that 1 meal. I mean, I've been eating 1 meal a day for 25 years. I'm 60 this year, and I can bear witness. I'm not a believer. I'm someone that knows that it works, because I, by the grace of God, very, very, very rarely, once every 5 years, get even a cold. So I'm not a believer. I'm someone that knows, because I'm practicing what I'm preaching, and I know it works. So one meal a day, or reducing the meals we eat in the day and disciplining our diet, is a life-giving activity that every human being should be recommended to be taking part in. Discipline, self-control with food, because food is a joy. Food, we love food. I love food. But as the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, and it is the truth, what you and I eat keeps us here, but what you and I eat takes us away. So when we are in a world that is really suffering badly at the moment from obesity, from overweight human beings, because food in the Western world is so abundant, and the bad food and the type of food is so abundant, that obesity is now a problem in the Western world. And in England and in America, and I'm sure here in St. Lucia, obesity and people being overweight is a problem. It's because of the lack of food discipline. We're eating too many meals too often for too many days, and it actually adds weight to us. So 1 meal a day is highly recommended. And then part of the health regime is how is the space, the time in between meals allows your body to detoxify. That means clean itself. Self-cleansing takes place when you and I stop eating for 8 hours, 16 hours, 24 hours. In the Nation of Islam, we're encouraged to eat one meal a day, which is one meal every 24 hours. But once a month for the last 25 years, my members of the Nation of Islam, but I personally have been taking part in a 3-day fast for full detoxification once a month. And that full detoxification takes place on the first Thursday of the month to the following Sunday. So we go 3 days without eating any food. We drink, but we do not eat any food. Once a month, every month. That is a full detox. That the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad said that if you do the 3-day fast once a month, he says you can hardly get sick. It's difficult for you to get sick if you have that kind of discipline. And fasting, as it says, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad says this in fasting, about fasting. He says, fasting, the fact that fasting is the cure for 90% of our ills is known by medical scientists. It's known. And what I will say is it's becoming more and more known today because it's all over YouTube. Any of us here who put in fasting, intermittent fasting, into your search engine on YouTube, you won't be able to exhaust the number of doctors that are out there now talking about how effective fasting is in keeping you from getting sick. You can't exhaust it. There's so many doctors on YouTube now from the Western world, white doctors, all manner of doctors, the medical GPs who are now bearing witness that what the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us in 1930 with one meal a day. Today in 2024, you cannot go on YouTube and put in that fasting and don't get multiple doctors telling you about exactly what he taught. They're bearing witness now. And it is absolutely a wonderful regime of self-help and self-healing, fasting. So it's highly recommended. And the time in between meals helps us detox. And then the final of the three, so the fasting, the time in between meals for the detox, and one of the most important things, again, the last thing I'll say is the type of food we're eating. The types of food. The best foods that we can eat, as the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches, and I'll bear witness again, are these three foods. Fruits is the best, and eating it raw is best. When I say fruits, I mean raw bananas, straight. You don't cook them. If you cook the fruits, you can take out much of the nutrients and destroy the nutrients. Raw fruits is the best. Blueberries, strawberries, mangoes. I mean, life-giving, just beautiful food. Vegetables are another key ingredient in the diet of those who are plant-based. Plant-based diet is a vegetable and fruit diet. Highly recommended. Eat the best vegetables. Not all vegetables. This book, again, How to Eat to Live, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad explains very effectively that there's certain vegetables that he recommends we do not eat. It's a study. You and I cannot become experts in self-care and self-help just because we want to be. We need to study. So fruits and veg are the best. And lastly, what I'll say is, as members of the Nation of Islam, we have a unique diet because of the fact that we have been recommended the Navy